I stood outside the venue, bouquet in hand, suit pressed, chest burning with pride. But the doors were locked, the lights were off, and the sign on the glass read, "Closed." Confused, I called my wife. She answered on the second ring, her voice casual, almost bored. "The party ended 2 hours ago," she said. Then silence, until she added, with a softness that cut deeper than a scream, "I guess I didn't want you there." The line went dead. Moments later, my phone buzzed with a notification. Her social media post. A photo of her, radiant in her graduation gown, glass of champagne raised high. The caption, "To the man who believed in me, funded me, pushed me through law school, I owe you everything. Thank you, love." But it wasn't me she tagged. It was him, her boss, her lover. The bouquet slipped from my hand and hit the concrete. I didn't pick it up. Hashtag. Backstory. We met in a cramped cafe 8 years ago. She was studying for her undergrad finals, hunched over textbooks. I offered her my table when the place was full. She smiled at me like I'd saved her life. That smile became my weakness. I paid for dinners when she was broke. I worked nights to cover her rent. When law school became her dream, I said yes, even though it meant draining savings and tying myself to loans. She used to tell me, "One day it'll all be worth it." I believed her, because that's what fools do. Hashtag. Discovery. The signs were there, the late nights at the office, the way her phone tilted away when I entered the room, the sudden perfume she didn't wear for me. But betrayal is a disease you don't diagnose until it's terminal. That night, when I stood outside that closed venue, staring at her post, I had no doubt. The infection had reached the bone. The shift. I didn't shout. I didn't drive to the restaurant and demand answers. I didn't beg her to choose me. No, I went home, sat in silence, and thought. Because grief is messy. But revenge? Revenge requires clarity. She had traded me for him, her office lover, the same man who came begging for investors 3 years ago when his promising startup was circling the drain. The man I rescued with my capital. 90%, that's the stake I bought. That's the leash I held. And he never even felt the collar tighten, until I decided to pull it. Execution. The first thing I did was cancel every card, every tuition autopay, every lingering loan she thought was magically vanishing. Her comfort evaporated overnight. Then the company. One signature, one wire transfer. I sold my 90% stake, 157 million worth. Not to a competitor, not to a friend, to a shark who'd been circling for years, waiting for blood. Within minutes, news hit the market. Their company stock free fell. My phone lit up with missed calls, 154 in under an hour. Her name, his name, friends, colleagues, all of them clawing at me through the screen. I let the phone buzz until it went silent. Climax. Then came the knock at my door, hard, desperate. I opened it to find her standing there, eyes wide, makeup streaked, voice trembling. "You ruined us," she whispered. "Not me, us. As if I had destroyed something sacred, not something already rotten." She begged, told me it was a mistake, that she loved me, that the post meant nothing. But her eyes betrayed her. Not love, fear. Behind her, headlights flashed. His car. He stepped out, tie loose, face pale. The confident CEO reduced to a man watching his empire burn. "Why?" he asked, voice cracking. The same word I once asked her when she came home late. I didn't answer him. Instead, I looked at her, and I said, calm, steady, "You could have had everything. Instead, you bet against me." I closed the door in their faces. Their muffled shouting faded with each step I took away. Hashtag. Resolution. The house was quiet again. My empire intact. Their empire ashes. Do I regret it? No. Regret is for those who hesitate. She thought love made me weak. He thought money made him untouchable. They were both wrong. I was patient, and patience is the sharpest weapon. They gave me humiliation. I gave them ruin. And as I sat in the silence, phone still buzzing with missed calls, one thought anchored me. The party may have ended 2 hours ago, but my revenge had just begun.